Hello everyone. Today we are in Ajman at the Food-ATM. In 2019, the Food-ATM was born and they were serving 6,000 meals a day. And can you imagine, at the current time, we are serving around 60,000 meals per day. Everything started from 50 fils to 3 dirham. And 3 dirham is the top price for the meal. And when I say 3 dirham, it's not just the biryani, it's also has a water and a piece of gift inside. So Ayesha Khan is the founder of Food-ATM. She's also board of directors U and Global Compact UAE chapter. This is the story of being resilient and consistent and push the boundaries to the limit. It's a daily struggle. The operation runs 365 days a year. How amazing. Ayesha has worked in the UAE 12 years before she quit her job and focused on helping the most needy people, and actually everyone is welcome. I am here. It's my pleasure to meet you. Ayesha, thank you so much for giving your time. It's Friday and I can see it's so busy. There's a lot of foods going on. This is your personal story. You went through that.
Yes.
Hunger and everything, and it shows you if you have the determination and the courage, right mindset. But the most important thing is to take the step, the
Yes.
first step, and go out of your comfort zone. You can achieve anything, right?
Thank you so much for having me here on your very beautiful podcast. And it's an honor to talk to you. And as you rightly said, it was always the first step for every human that has been a challenge. And in my case, it was a little more challenging because there was no path. There was no such path. There was no one doing something what I am doing. So it wasn't like I had a path to walk. I had to pave the path and then walk on it.
Exactly. And I think everything changes during the COVID, right?
Yes.
2020, when everything locked down and everyone looking for the cheap meal and how they can provide the meals to their laborers, especially sitting at home, and then where it picks up everything from there. But this is amazing. So in terms of your current practices, the impact of broader goal of food accessibility, are there any areas which you think you could innovate or improve?
My dear brother, to be very honest to you, there is no much innovation required from us human beings, but at least a consciousness needs to be there from each of us. Let us begin with the wastage that we do in our homes. Our children are doing it, we are doing it, the raw materials vendors, suppliers, everybody is doing it. And then we are saying the world hunger is not coming down. Then we are saying there is starvation. How come? What innovation is required? Please, let's change our habits. Let's think about others who don't even have one meal a day.
Yeah, correct.
So more than an innovation, we need to rectify a self-introspection. At least let's do that.
Very well said, yeah. What steps can be taken to improve food security for the lower income population?
Let me now put a financial picture in front of you, or let me take finances into consideration. Because the hype in the market created by any political or natural calamities related turbulence is really not asked for. I always tell people that when you want to make money, there are so many other domains. Please exempt the food domain, because food is a basic human need. Let people eat. Please do not try to, put your ambitions of higher profit margins on a poor man's tummy. Let's not try to make more profit from the food domain or food industry. Let's minimize there. And any war happening in any part of the world is not affecting your supplies. So please don't use that to hype the cost and fool the market. Please don't do that. Even if you do that, there are people who can buy. But what about the segment of society who cannot buy? Let us be human to them. Let us be human to them.
Yes, I think it's a great message for everyone. Not play on the excuses, right? If you want to
Absolutely.
really do it, help someone, you can.
So well said. Yes,
Yes.
let's not play on the excuses.
Yeah. So I'm just amazed. It's more than 5 years, okay, running, and the plate of biryani, which is 3 dirham, and I thought it's just a biryani, but it has also water and a gift inside. How that is possible? Okay, and with all this inflation,
Yes.
and everything, and kept the rate so minimum.
That's only possible if the business is run by a mother. Very simple answer. because when my children feel hungry between meals, they need to eat something. They would grab a packet of chocolates or chips or biscuits. So I thought about the laborers, the workers who already have a small pocket. When they feel hungry between lunch and dinner, it's many hours. Again, from dinner and breakfast, it's many hours. What would they do? So I made it a point with every single meal from FoodATM, there will be a gift going out. Whatever we can afford, it could be an apple, it could be a chocolate, it could be even a few dates, something, whatever we can afford, we will buy and we will give it as a gift. So that's the logic behind it. And water, because every human being will drink water with a meal. I wanted to save that money. I wanted to save that money from those people who are buying meals from us. So
Yep.
even water we are giving for free.
Okay, great. I just noticed in your kitchen, right? It's all workforce is men based. So, are there any barriers to overcome gender inequality, or what strategies you can think to overcome that barrier at your workplace?
I very openly say this, that I have a great gender imbalance in my kitchens in FoodATM. One, because the work is very physically intensive, and you see the cooking pots, each pot has minimum 500 meals, which is more than 500 kgs to pull down, and it is right from the pot to the packet to the tummy. So it's so hot. So women I can't expose to such very harsh physical working conditions. So that's one reason for sure. The second reason is FoodATM is always based in industrial areas only. You will never find us anywhere else. The reason is the industrial areas are the ones who require us. Otherwise, people don't need us. In these industrial areas, you find only men coming. We don't have women who come and want to take up a job here. People don't
Correct,
come.
correct,
People don't
yeah.
want to send their daughters and mothers or wives and sisters to work with us here in FoodATM. So I lack the gender equality, which is for sure. But I've committed to all my women and female fan followers that I'm going to have a corporate office where again I'll have a gender imbalance, where I'll only put females, only women with me in my corporate office. No men allowed there. So that way I'm
Yeah,
balanced.
you can balance it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Yeah.
So,
Are you setting your sights beyond your previous achievements, such as Guinness World Record? What new goals you are aiming for, and how do you plan to exceed your our past successes?
my dear brother, there were people who asked me, what are you trying to achieve? Sun, moon, stars? So I said, no, what will I do with the sun, moon, stars? I want to reach the tummies of people who are walking on the earth, whose tummies have hunger and pockets don't have enough money to buy food in this cost inflations. So all I want to do is to reach more tummies whose pockets are small. And I want to beat hunger. I want to finish world hunger, because I believe that God has sent all of us to this world with our rizq sent even before we landed here. Then where is the starvation coming from? There is no lack of resources. There is something wrong happening here.
Is the greed? You sent human greed. That's what's the reason.
Very true. There is a lot of greed for sure. There is a lot of wastage. So greed plus wastage put together equal to world hunger. Very simple formula. So let's crash it. Let's
Yeah.
finish it.
Yeah.
So, as a board of directors, UN Global Compact, what is your role in the UN Global Compact, and how you are contributing to the global crisis and the global goals, and what impact do you hope to make?
It's a big privilege for anyone to be on the board of directors of UNGC, and I represent the UAE chapter for labor and civil society. So this was a complete selection that was done, especially for my candidature, based on the work that we are doing, that how we provided food security to the lower income, which was a segment of human society completely ignored. And I'm very fortunate that UNGC UAE chapter has very set finite goals and targets that we are all working on. In my case, it's labor and civil society. Even when it comes to policy writing, very recently there was United Nations high-level political forum where we all board of directors were there contributing towards action policies, that in my domain what actions can be taken to ensure that there is zero hunger. So that's amazing that we get an opportunity to be part of policy making for the world. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's a great message. We talk about a lot here about hunger, right? What do you believe is the most pressing and terrifying threat facing humanity today? Is it just the hunger, or is there anything else? Is it the looming issue of global food shortages, right? How is Food ATM addressing this critical challenge to ensure food security for all?
I remember when I was in one of the labor camps in Sharjah, there were around 8,000 people and we were giving food out. That's our daily job. We will be going to every labor camps where we are delivering and wherever we have events, and there will be thousands, minimum 5,000 people crowd. So these are like only men, of course, and they were all there, and some of them, because of anxiety, there was pushing and fighting and all. So I had a journalist with me from one of the leading newspapers. He just saw all that. He said, Ayesha, don't you feel scared? This is too much. So I said, I have seen the scariest thing on earth, and that is hunger. That is hunger. And when hunger already had a solution, what has happened really worse is hunger has been created. It was very natural for human beings to feel hungry, but it is unnatural that there is no food. So
Okay,
that
yeah.
combination is something which all the national, international organizations need to look into. That there are resources, then why there is hunger?
I think it's a very good point that this is one of the biggest issue, and then it affects or starts the other problems.
Very true.
When someone is hungry, they might go for a crime, right?
Yes.
And they find stealing or something else.
Yes.
So it relates, and it's just pushes different wrong doors opening,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So do you think the world hunger is an issue that will continue to battle for generations, or is there any tangible path towards eradicating it?
If we can.
If we have been able to have this podcast today, one of the reasons is that we have walked the talk. By that I mean that globally the only company who's doing the work that we are doing is something which I request the world to please follow. Every country, every region can do what we are doing. Please implement this kind of a solution which is feasible. Before the raw materials go into landfills, let us translate that in time into food and fill the tummies. If that is not done, then already the global resources are shrinking.
Yeah.
The world hunger will only increase. This way, if we do wastage and we do not take care of the food wastage and the shrink that needs to be done from our side of our negligence, then world hunger will grow. But we still have time. We can finish it.
Yeah, everyone has to put their, I think, effort into
All
that,
of us.
right?
We are all responsible.
Because once we are sitting somewhere at work, or we're all busy with our daily lives, I'm sitting in my living room, I don't realize how tough it could be until you come here and you see so much help is going on. So many people are taking the food from here, and that's amazing to see, right?
Yes.
So how does FoodATM empower and encourage every household to actively participate in making the world a better place? There are like any initiatives in the communities
Right.
that you guys say to them, if you do this, you can contribute to the global mission.
Yes.
You can help others. How that's happening?
FoodATM will never publish presentations, white papers, never. FoodATM will only have actions. And that action I very clearly understood because I'm a mother. I have a home. Like me, there are millions of mothers. If we mothers do not get this straight into our homes, it will not happen. So one, I reached out, I have been very aggressively reaching out to every mother in every home that we will only serve as much food that they can eat, and if they require more food, we will serve again. One thing, I know it sounds very childish, like something like our grandparents used to tell us, parents used to tell, please don't waste food. Yes, but by saying it will not happen. We will not serve. We will only give as much food that they can eat. If you want a second serving, first you finish what you have been taken, then I'll give you. Another thing, there is nothing called non-pretty utilities, non-pretty vegetables. If the vegetable is staying in the refrigerator for 3 days, it becomes a little soggy or little discolored. Mothers will first throw it out. So I have shown many recipes to mothers that we will not throw. We will reuse those non-pretty vegetables or fruits in a different way.
Yeah.
And that way, I have taken all the mothers into my side. So, the second target audience I have is children. Our children have nothing to do with humanity. The children these days have a lot of technology with them and they have nothing to do with humanity. They don't know, definitely don't know who are the neighbors. Even in the classroom, they will not talk to many people because they are always involved in their gadgets. Children have multiple gadgets with them and in every home. So, every school I am associating, every university, and I am making them do a social impact in a month. I am making each child spend 3 dirham from their pocket and 30 minutes of their time come to FoodATM, buy the meal and distribute. So now
Wow.
as a school,
Yeah.
the school will, each school that I'm associated, I think we are with more than 15 schools now and 7 universities already and aggressively signing more universities and schools because if I don't take care of the younger generation, then we are all losers.
Exactly.
Our younger generation is our future.
Yeah.
If they don't have the social impact attitude, they become weak human beings. Technology will stay, humanity will be disappearing.
Yeah, I think it's a great initiative because of that age. If the child learn,
Yes.
or a young age adult, they learn. Okay, if I'm giving someone to food and the pleasure I get from it, that's irreplaceable.
Right?
The joy of giving can never be explained.
Exactly.
It has to be experienced.
Exactly.
That's a great message. So we will try the biryani as well later, and we will give you the feedback on that as well. Aisha, thank you so much for your
Thank you
time. I
so
know
much.
it's super busy here. I can see that, and you're doing such a great work. Jazakallah. And my audience, I will see you in my next episode. Thank you, and bye now.
Thank you so much.